All right, welcome to another recharge class. I don't know what Zoom's doing. Welcome to another recharge class. So today we're gonna get rolling, but we're also gonna get a little bit nutty today. Okay, nut pun. Okay, but if you look at our stuff today, so what we have, what's my snack today? What is it? It is an almond butter yogurt fruit parfait. It's a mouthful and it tastes good if you eat it. Okay, but it's a 3/4 of a cup of plain Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons of almond butter, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1/4 of a cup of grapes. It said halved. I think that's obviously just for ease. And then 3 strawberries chopped up. And then you can add some almonds in there also if you would like that added nuttiness. Okay. With this, I would also suggest you could throw in your chia seed, your flax seed, stuff like that to raise the omega-3s, because as we like to preach, omega-3s are amazing. So anytime you can add those in, that would be great. Plus it just adds a little more flavor. And then along with that, today, what is our joke? What sound does a nut make when it sneezes? And this is one of mine, so you know it's going to be good. And then I had to look back into history there to find the planner's peanut, Mr. Peanut. Hopefully I did him justice. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So again, today we're going to start with the chair. We're actually going to do that first, doing some off the chair glute bridges. Then we're going to go into a pillar reach, so down on our forearms. And then we're going quad heel with a little sweep. So all that's going to be is kind of like our hip flexor stretch with a little added hamstring in there to get us rolling. And then we're going to get off and running like a herd of turtles. Okay, so today, the whole idea of today is our movement qualities, like most Tuesdays, but this one is really going to be hip opening and some T-spine opening stuff during our flow even. So just try to make the movements as clean as you can. If you need to form check or something, listen to the cues and we'll go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and get rolling. We're going down on the ground. And if you would like a mat, you can use one. Mine just happened to get dirty today, so I'm just gonna go without. So what we're gonna do, heel goes on the chair. I'm going left foot first. Right leg comes into that hook position. Okay, so just like we're doing dead bug, I'm gonna tighten up my core, relax my head down, use my elbows as a support. We're gonna drive our heel nice and high up to the sky, and then lower ourselves down nice and slow. So think of shooting those hips to the sky. Drive it up and down nice and slow. We got 8 of those. You can go at your own pace. You can go a little faster, a little slower if you would like. Okay, I just don't want to see you repping it out so fast that you're smashing your back down on the floor. Make sure you're not using a rolly chair, because if you are, it's not gonna be fun. We can do that some other time with some leg curls if you would like, although I don't have a rolly chair. All right, one more. And switching sides. We have been doing a lot of leg curls and a lot of glute bridges, so this should not be too bad on you. It's a little different, so you might feel your hamstrings a little more. You might also feel the back of your calf a little bit. Okay, you're just changing how the mass is being driven through a lever. Okay, so anytime we change that lever, as you guys know, it's going to change where you feel that work. So just do your best. If you need to take a break, shake it out, go ahead. That's fine. One more. And down. Beautiful. All right, like I said, if you didn't have a chair, that's fine. If you did, perfect. Slide it away. We're not going to need it for the rest of the workout. I know, I hate when I do that to you guys. Okay, pillar bridge. So getting in your plank or your pillar position, Forearms down on the ground, getting into our good locked in bridge position from here. Okay, widening out my feet just a little so that I'm nice and stable. And then without my hips changing, I want to reach out, bring that arm right back. We're going to go 5 on each side. Nice and slow. Take your time, trying to keep yourself from moving. Got one more on each. And up. Nice work. Okay, for this next one, if you're on a hard floor, might want to put something under your knee. Pillow, teddy bear, kid. Don't use a kid, just teasing. A mat if you have it. Okay, anything, because putting your knee down on the floor can start to hurt. Okay, we're going to go into that hip flexor position. Okay, so we've done this before. We're just in that half kneeling. We're going to squeeze our butt. We're going to push to the front of the room. Once we get there, we're going to relax back and go the opposite way. Okay, so now I'm sitting back, butt to heel, and then from there, I'm going to reach out, sweep that toe. Okay, so quad hip flexor, open up that hip, sit back, open up that hamstring, forward, back with a reach. Good, switching sides. This one's a nice one if you're feeling tight in your hip flexor, but also in your glute or in your hamstring. This one's good because you're getting your hip flexor here. And then as we sit back, you should start to feel that tightness in your hamstring, and that reach just accentuates it. And then we flow right back into that hip flexor. So it's good that you're stretching a lot of muscle groups in one movement, flowing through it. Make sure you're breathing. And nice. All right, now let's get rolling with our flow. So we're going to go through it 2 times each side. Okay, so that it'll make sense when we go through 2 times. And then we're going to go dead bug and hollow hold at the end as our cool down, just our time to focus on the pillar, as it were. Okay, so let's go ahead and start up on our feet, squat position. You guys have done these enough now. You know that position well. From there, we're going to go down dog, TP push-up, pigeon. Then we're going to repeat it on the other side. Okay, so nice, deep squat down, squatting down. Bring yourself into position. Okay, open up those hips a little bit. Drop your hands to the ground. Drive your hips up, and you should be in a really high down dog, sitting back if you can. Okay, trying to open up those shoulders. If you have to adjust, that's fine. So I'm adjusting so I can get into my shoulders a little more. Okay, from here, doing that elbow bend, tapping your head to the floor, pressing back up. Now we're going to take our right leg. Right leg just goes up towards the sky. And then I'm going to just swing it straight forward into a pigeon. Okay, now we've talked about these before. I am super tight in my hip. Okay, so you can see my foot is pointing back towards my leg. That's not bad, but if I was sitting back like this, it would be. Chest still goes forward, still focused over my knee, driving my back of my hip forward, so I'm helping myself rotate into that hip. And then as we do these, by the second one, I could maybe even adjust my foot out if I need to, or I can walk around if I need to open that up, okay? But stay with your chest pointed forward. You should be able to see Exos on my shirt the entire time. And if you can't, call me out on it, okay? Make sure I'm doing it right too. Big chest, driving my hands in, If you want to get a little more, you can come down low if you would like. Okay. I'm trying to drive my hip forward, kind of like that hip flexor stretch. Good. All right. Now that I'm off my soapbox, press into the floor, lift that back leg so it's nice and strong. Okay. Kind of plank position, and then walk it right back into that high down dog. Opening things up again. Okay, now you know what's happening. We're gonna do that TP push-up again, down, press up. Beautiful, left leg this time up into the air. And swing it forward into that pigeon. Now, here's another phenomenon, okay? One side, which in my case is this side, is actually a little looser than the other, okay? Doesn't look like it here with my foot because it's still pointing back instead of out straight, but I'm able to get my hip a lot lower to the ground. It's easier for me to keep chest forward towards you guys. Okay, so if you have one that you're super easy and you're like, I'm doing this side wrong, you're probably not. It's normal, okay? Just get into your stretch. If it's too easy, drop down into that low pigeon. Okay, if that's too much, just find your happy place, wherever that might be. Okay, again, I'm driving my hip forward, stretching everything out nice and strong. All right, same thing, straighten that back leg, lift your knee off the ground, dig those toes in, and then you're gonna just press up and back into that down dog, last down dog here. And then let's go ahead and walk our feet forward as far as you can without bending. And then come on up nice and slow. Be careful coming up. That's a lot of change. We don't want to pass out, okay? Now I'm going to turn at an angle to you guys. We're just going to do our normal reverse lunge, right and left leg with rotation. I'm going to do 3 of these on each side. Okay, so just a reverse lunge, dropping that knee in. I'm rotating towards my front knee. Open up, step right back up. You can do these at your own pace. I'm not doing them as slow as we did last week. Okay, this time we're just kind of repping it out. Just make sure you get a good rotation. Use that arm to help you rotate. Look where those fingers are going behind you. Good. All right, now we're going to do a hinge to a toe touch, forward fold. Okay, so working those hamstrings again, widening out our feet to about shoulder width, soft knee first, so slight bend in those knees, pushing those hips to the back of the room, nice big chest, right? Bring your arms down in front of you, go as far as you can until when you feel that hamstring pull, reach your hands down to wherever they touch, okay? If you're not at the floor, that's fine. I'm not at the floor, keeping my back nice and flat. Now from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drive my hips back straight, trying to keep my hands at the same level and not let my back round. So it's like doing a bent knee hamstring. Now we're stretching those hamstrings as much as we can. I can't quite get my knees back to straight, but everything should still be in the same position, okay? Imagine a line there that your fingers are touching. Don't let it fall off. If you're on the floor, that's amazing. Now going back into that hinge, okay? So again, sitting back, feeling that stretch. If you can, get your hands a little lower this time, but don't compromise form. And then stand up one more time, driving those hips up. Don't let your back change. Don't let your arms change height. This one's surprisingly hard, especially with no weight. But this will help increase that end range of your hamstrings in your deadlifts and all that good stuff. Picking kids up, picking up the floor, which is something we do all the time. Moving vacuums. Oh gosh, the list goes on and on. and up nice and tall. Round one, done. See, just like that, we're perfectly on track. Deep breath. We're gonna go right back into that squat. Okay, this time I'm gonna show the pigeon stuff facing sideways so you can kind of see that angle. I'll probably switch halfway so that we're facing each other again, okay, because it just, for me, I feel like it works better for this one, but I want you to see it from the side, okay? So first things first, get that good squat. So hands in front. You can use them as counter if you want to go a little deeper, okay? Nice deep squat here, down. Just holding in the bottom of a squat, no big deal. All right, hands go down, drive those hips high, adjust your down dog to where you can. Good, once you're locked in and feel comfortable and feel like you're in a good spot, dropping down into that TP push-up, down and up. Going back to that right side, right leg goes up. Kicking it forward into that pigeon. Okay, now you can see it from the side. Okay, now you can't see where my foot is, but you can see I'm over my knee, chest is facing forward. Okay, it's hard for you to hold me accountable on that because I'm twisted sideways, but that's okay. I promise my chest is pointing forward. Okay, I am gonna walk my back leg towards you guys a little bit, which is now opening up this hip even more. Okay, I'm feeding into that hip. I'm gonna relax down this time. You don't have to unless you want to. I'm just gonna relax in because we're gonna hold here for a second. This is the important one today. Working that hip mobility, trying to relax in. In a perfect world, my hip here, this cheek would be on the floor or could be on the floor, okay? I'm a long ways off. I'm continuing to work on it. It's a hard one to really allow your body to relax in because a lot of us are really tight in the hip. You might even be feeling it in your groin, okay? That's normal too. Just gets tight and it compensates for the fact that you might not have that hip mobility, okay? Coming up nice and tall. Now this time you'll see what I'm talking about when I said lift your back leg, okay? So back leg's off now. All the weight is on my hands and on my back leg, okay? From there, I can push up with my hips and into that down dog, okay? So similar to when we do those bear crawl sit through things that we like to do, I can control that movement. Okay, once you're feeling locked in and good, we're gonna go down nice and slow. Press up. Good, left leg comes up. And then we're gonna swing it forward into that pigeon. Okay. Nice and upright. I'm gonna walk my foot away from you a little bit this time, okay? And that's just an easy way to adjust this foot without having to like force yourself to lift it and move it, okay? If I walk my leg around, I'm doing that same thing, but it's allowing me to move it a little easier, okay? I'm gonna just drop down. Stretching will make you sweat more than working out in some cases. This is one of those ones for me. I definitely feel this one more so than most stretches. Anything to do with hips and hamstrings on myself is the big ones. If you have kids, this is a good one, especially for them to start doing to help keep their hips mobile, especially little ones. Because over time, we start getting more tightness in our bodies, just natural. But if we can keep that elasticity that we have when we're young, that bounce back ability. I mean, how many kids have we seen take a full-on header into something and get right back up and keep on trucking? I know both my boys we think they're going to be down and out, and next thing you know, they're up and running. So if we can keep that, that makes sports performance and life performance that much better, being able to be in these positions and not hurt yourself. So nice and upright now. Dig that back leg in, drive up nice and high. And then let's walk those toes all the way back and up. Beautiful. Let's finish out those lunges. Okay, so again, lunge and rotation, just lunge, good rotation, step up. Beautiful, no timing here. So if you want to get 3 in quickly, that's awesome. If you want to do them a little slower, that's fine. You know where we're going, so you can catch back up, okay? All right, now let's go into that hinge. Okay, that hinge with that straight leg. So go ahead, soft knees first, push those hips back, dropping yourself down. Find that good position, take a deep breath, and I want you to drive those hips up. Okay, now goal number 2 for this one. Your eye gaze should be about a foot in front of your feet. Okay, a lot of people try to look either straight down and they're bending their chin to their chest, or they're trying to look up. Okay, dropping back into that deadlift. Okay, even in this deadlift, I want to gaze about a foot in front of my feet. Okay, that's going to put my neck in line. Believe it or not, drive those hips up. Where your head goes is where your pelvis wants to go. So if you're looking up, your pelvis wants to dump. If you're looking down, your pelvis wants to go the other way. Okay, so creating that tilt will make you round your low back by just looking where you're going with your head. So always gaze about a foot in front of you when you're doing these ones. Tip of the day. And come up nice and slow. Nice work. Okay, so this next one, we are going to bust through these one time each. Okay, but they're going to be somewhat slow. We got a 30-second hollow hold after doing 5 regular dead bugs. So opposite arm, opposite leg. So go ahead and get in your dead bug position. Okay, dead bug position, hook right here. Arms go up, relax your head down, create that tension in your pillar. So sink those ribs, tighten that core up. Nice deep breaths through your nose, let it out, like we've been practicing with our breathing. Okay, right arm goes back, left leg goes out. Nice, slow, and controlled. We're not repping these out quickly. Nice and easy. Think about a second or 2 per rep. Keeping that core nice and tight. We got 5 on each side. Even when you breathe, make sure that you're keeping those ribs tucked in, keeping that breath nice and normalized. Here's number 4 and number 5. All right, we're going to transition straight from here. I want those arms down at your side. You're going to straighten your legs out both at one time. Keep that core nice and tight. And all we're going to do is come into a banana, quote unquote, or a hollow body hold position. Hands at your side, palms up towards the sky. Take those legs out, come into that hollow hold position. And we're just going to hold for a while. Whew. Tell you a story about a walker. Lucas has Legos. He built himself a walker. Okay, with that walker, he's been chasing us around the house and chasing his brother. And we've heard everything there is to know about walkers. 2-leg, 4-leg, all of them, how they get torn down, where they enter, all that good stuff. Okay, so if you guys ever need to know something about a walker, call my son. And relax. Ugh. Nice work. Okay, palms up. Relax everything out. If you have time, I would suggest go ahead and go through that end piece again. You know how to do dead bugs. You know how to count to 30. So if you want to, do that again. That'll just lock that pillar in even more. Thursday, we got plenty of stuff coming, so don't feel like you're missing something. Good job. Take a nice couple of deep breaths. Let's go in through the nose all the way up, and then just relax it out. In through that nose, and relax it out. Okay, a little different today. I want you to come all the way in and out 2 more times, just on your own. All right, now we're gonna roll over to our stomach, okay? Roll on over to your stomach. Hands go under your shoulders, tuck those toes underneath. We're gonna go ahead and do a push-up all the way up. So push up, then into a down dog, and then walk your hands back to your feet, okay? So just push up, drive those hips. As soon as you're up into that down dog, walk those hands all the way back. Leave your hands on the floor for just a second, and then go ahead and roll up. Nice and slow. All right, our breaths for the end of today. Interlacing those fingers, reaching up to the sky, stretching things out. Okay, now as I do this breath, what I'm gonna do, deep breath in through my nose, I'm gonna slowly let it out as I reach to the back of the room and try to keep myself as straight as possible. Okay, I'm only gonna go to where I feel a little stretch in my stomach. I'm not gonna try to fold myself over backwards. Okay, so that's the reach. Reach as high as you can. Get that nice little stretch in your core here. Hold for 2 breaths. And now we're gonna take that right down, still stretching, reaching as far as you can, right down to your feet. Now we're gonna go towards the right side. So I'm gonna come towards you guys. I'm gonna keep those hands interlaced, and I'm gonna make a big circle. I'm gonna try to turn those hands up towards the sky, reaching up, making that circle as big as I can all the way back down to the front. And I'm gonna take it all the way back the other direction, all the way up and around and back down to the center. Good, release those hands, sweep those toes off a couple of times. Take a nice deep breath all the way up towards the sky and back down one last time, all the way down. Sweep those toes off and come up with a nice, deep, intentional breath. Fill yourself up. All right, guys, good job today. So as always, we'll end with our quote of the day. A river cuts through the rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. Okay, you guys are doing all the right stuff. If you're coming here, you're watching the recordings, you're watching the live, and you're putting in the work, you're doing everything you can. It's not how powerful you are being, it's how persistent you're being with your movement qualities. The more you get down on yourself about movement qualities and focusing on that and making yourself better, the better you're gonna get. And persistence is key. So don't quit because you're not seeing results. Okay, if you're here, I know you're putting in the work. If you need some encouragement, reach out to me or one of the other coaches. If you know a coach that you work with, reach out to them. They're here to help you with your goals, help you with motivation. That's a big part of what we do, and we'd love to hear from you, okay? So either leave comments or send us messages, whatever you want to do, we'd love to hear from you, okay? Now, on that note, to end things off with a nice happy note, what sound does a nut make when it sneezes? Achoo! It's just for you guys. Okay. All right. Have a great day. As always, I will see you next time. I will see you Thursday. We're going to have some fun with some weights or body weight, whatever you want to do. But I'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.